Welcome in. How are you today? My name is Sarah Leonardo, and let's get started. All right. So, if you're watching this live, I'd love to know. Type live. Let's get started. So, let me actually get to this to the presentation. Okay, so you're watching Creating Communities for Clients, Not One-Sided Social Media Content, what most people get wrong when they get started. Welcome in, you are joining this training. Let me see if everyone is hopping in live, if I'm on all the right devices. And um, and I'd love to know if I love to hop on live because sometimes I catch people and they have questions. Um, so I love to share this because I feel very strongly about making sure you have this component in your yoga business. Okay. Hey there, my name is Yoga Coach Sarah, and I've been providing these trainings every Friday or so here in this group to help yoga teachers and business owners create their online yoga business effectively. Welcome in. So I'm also a wellness business owner. And as I move on in this online business, we have to see ourselves as marketers. And we have to understand the significance of nurturing connections with our potential customers, students. Okay. We have to create those authentic connections and engage with your audience. So in this training, I'm going to show you how we will be constructing a powerful community as a tool, and it's designed to help you create authentic relationships and connections with your students. How you can provide powerful transformations for the people that buy your products and your services, for your clients. And it's really something powerful because it does extend beyond, what you, um, when you just post things on social media, right? So maybe like, what do I want to explain the title a little bit, right? Because the difference between creating a community and that one-sided social media content is when you create a community, it's a two-way. You provide value to your audience, and that means when you give one way, they also engage back. So, but how do you get them to engage back? You need to be able to skillfully and strategically get their interest and begin a conversation. So that means not being afraid of creating that two-way. And I'll explain exactly what I mean in creating two-way conversations in your business model. And so versus the one-sided social media content, which is kind of what we see when people begin to build their business. People are happy to create a service or a product, and some most beginners think that posting posting something amazing, maybe they spent like hundreds and even like thousands of dollars, and people start coming to them. And that's not really true. So that's the one side, is that you post and you hope and wait that people will come to you. Sometimes a website does that. People spend thousands of dollars or hundreds of dollars paying someone to build their website or creating this beautiful platform, but people lack the skills and the abilities to really create that two-way relationships. You need to be building relationships with your communities. And what does that even mean? What is a community? And as you begin, it may feel a little weird to see yourself as an expert even, or a leader in a community, but that's what you're going to begin creating, is that people begin to come to you because you're the expert for the services and programs that you're creating for them. You're the one that has been there, done that, and wants to turn to you for advice and for a transformation. People are not, um, if you're engaging an audience, and and you're not talking to your audience's pain points and desires, then it does become one-sided. People look and see like there's not something here for me to engage in, follow. This isn't for me, then it becomes one-sided. Okay, so a lot of people get this wrong. A lot of people think that once they post the services, that people will come. So what are the objectives today? Today, we're going to differentiate between one-time social media content and actual community building. Okay, so I explained a little bit of that. I went ahead of myself, and I'll explain further too as we get further along in this training, and then uncovering mistakes that are made during the process of, even when you begin creating a community. There's also things that you can stumble upon in that. Um, and also, I can share some best practices when creating communities online. And then, number three, revealing strategies for fostering genuine connections and audience engagement. And I'm happy to give you some tips around that. And then we will be I will be sharing successful examples of other yoga businesses with thriving communities, and excited about um, thriving communities and actually converting those communities to clients. Okay, there's also a really important shift in that in just kind of creating a service in a community, and then also converting your potential communities into high paying clients. Okay, and that's really um, what what we're specialized at, in helping you build yoga services. And maybe you've already started teaching yoga here and there. You made $25 here and there, or maybe you did like a nice little one time retreat and workshop, and you earned a few $100s there. You're like, I know I could do something more. I know that I can create something sustainable here. And we are the experts in helping you really put that together and help you bring consistent clientele and consistent leads, and pump people into your communities and then actually convert them. Okay. So one sided content versus community building. Okay. So with social media, it's a powerful tool, and it's there to help you broadcast your message, but it's also there to create the dialogue. And that's what I mean. That's where it starts, right? That's where the two-way begins to start. It's maybe like one level of a two-way is to begin creating that dialogue. Okay. And then when you do begin building the community, how do you, how do you make it impactful enough so that you are fostering strong client relationships? Okay, so your um, your community needs to have um, an expert in your community. That will be you. That will be you, and you have to be able to be comfortable enough to see yourself as an expert, because you are the teacher, you are the business owner, so they're coming to you for help. Okay, and when you begin to foster those strong client relationships, then you get to know and build. Then you get to know that they as you kind of begin seeing the same people, you begin to um, create a list of, okay, I'm kind of seeing maybe like the same person with similar problems, similar symptoms. Then you've got something there that's called building your clients pain points, and that's when you can begin to create content and begin to really build a community out of people that are sharing that pain, that are sharing the same desires. And so people start to come in commonality through emotions. So being able to share um, your emotions and the journey that you've had is really key in helping build a community. And versus, like, the a prime example of one-sided content is a lot of the yoga Instagram teachers I see out there. You just see them in like beautiful, amazing poses, and they're really nice to look at, but you know they don't offer solutions. They may, maybe in posting the poses, they may offer, oh, that's a desirable, maybe I want to do that. But it doesn't build community. Okay. So what are the common mistakes? Many stumble when you attempt to create online communities is, um, maybe, you know maybe the over promotion can be the one sided. That's a common mistake, right? When you over promote like a product, but you're not really in the weeds and engaging with your community, you're not talking to them, you're not messaging them, or maybe you're too shy in reaching out to them in your messages, then you begin to ignore like what they may be able to say to improve your community. Okay. And then a common thing too is just like, inconsistency in posting schedules. Um, Meaning, like, it's hard to, that's kind of how you build trust in the online community is, if you're consistent, then people will begin to build that trust with you. But if you're inconsistent in providing content, or maybe your content um, begins to like look differently, you're talking different pain points, you're talking different content, it begins to you know question, um, people begin to question like why they're even like following you, or why they're even like in your community. So making sure that you have a sustainable posting schedule that works for you, that works for your business. That's key to building trust in your potential audience. So I'm rambling here, and I know some of you watched this in a replay, but I wanted to know if this is resonating with you. So, I want you to type here in the comments, if you're able to find it, that it makes sense. Or if you have a question, I'd love to include that in with our further trainings. Um, so, some of these strategies for engagement, it requires more than just posting. You need to be able to interact. You need to be able to respond. You need to be able to really connect with the people that are joining your groups, your communities, and really and creating like intimate settings for them, right? So what are some of these things that will generate interaction, response, and connection? Creating value oriented content. You need to be able to provide value for them first in order for people to find your presence valuable. Okay. And then, so encouraging two-way communication, meaning like you get to command and tell people like, this is how you can communicate to me. I always tell my audience to make a comment, and reach out to me in my messages, or respond here, send me this, or we will send you a free training. And that way we can begin to develop relationships with people. Having value oriented content to give to your audience will create that two-way. And then maintain a consistent schedule in interacting with your communities. Okay. Showing up consistently is just key. Okay. And then it says you're promoting generated user generated content, things that that the users just mean like audience that they can also that they love to provide and create for the community. So it's something that they want to give to your community instead. So I've been rambling, um, and I mentioned a bit earlier that I would um, share other strategies too. Um, I know we're reaching towards the end here, um, and when you create um, communities, so how does creating communities look like in the online space? Is you know one example is creating this Facebook group, creating a Facebook group that um, highlights what your audience is experiencing, who you want to work with. Okay, do the work. If you haven't done the ideal client work, you got to do this first before creating a community. If you create a too broad of a community, then nobody knows what they're doing there besides like loving yoga. Okay, you have to be able to tell people exactly who's supposed to be there, what problems they're experiencing, what you could help them to achieve their desires, um, and um, and it's you and then you begin to also do the work of what type of communities that I want to build, right? You want to build a community are that want to engage. You get to set the rules. Okay, you remember this is your community, and that's a lot. That's another thing that most people get wrong is like people often over please and think that like they need to follow the community, and often like ignore their own intuition or their own guidance, saying this isn't really like a fit anymore, and I'm just doing it now for I'm just doing it for other people, not for me anymore. So you have to make sure that you're in alignment with that whatever you're providing is what you truly want to continue doing, because you'll be doing this type of work. If you want to make this a career, you'll be doing this for a long time, so you want to make sure it's aligned with you. Okay, not you know what a lot of people are you know like when I think of like over pleasing, people pleasing, where it's no longer like what you want to give to your audience, if that makes sense. And a lot of people get lost in that. um, so that is what I have. I do want to share um, you know my new oracle deck. I haven't done any readings lately, and I just had a birthday. I turned 40, and one of my best friends gave me a beautiful oracle deck card. I want to share that with you today for a reading. And so before we do all that, in the end, I wanted to, um, you know, share what we have here for you in the community is. And if you're someone that's right on that edge where I really want to do something with my work now, and I want to get started. So, what is it that you can do um, you know, to help you apply some of these principles for your business? We want to help you by giving you a complimentary discovery call. We will go over your business needs, and we're going to give you some strategies and how to implement some of these principles for you. And of course, we're going to see what works for you. We'll give you resources, and we're going to see too if whatever we do is a fit for you. I love seeing other people create their businesses, and but it only we can only work together if it's a fit. If we can only work together if people are ready to begin commanding their high ticket meaning like $1,000 up, beginning to offer those type of programs. if you're still getting used to, and are shy about those prices, maybe this call isn't for you yet. But if you're someone that's, people are coming up to me, they're telling me that my classes are great, and people are asking, like, do you have an online program or videos or things that I can like watch, because I really love your energy and I love working with you. And you want to, see how you can begin to share your work with your people and serve in a really big way. And you do deserve to be earning more for the transformations that you bring to people. Now it's time for you to begin showing up to this call. So this is your call for that, and we would love to get you connected. And if it doesn't work, we know a lot of people in the community, so we can also share who you can work with. This is just like, it's a good match of energy, and if it's in alignment with your own guidance. So speaking of guidance, let's look at this Healing Oracle card. It's a crystal readings card, and I love crystals as well. You could see I have a few here. Um, Lucky enough that I've been gifted some beautiful crystals. Um, should I show some with you? Should I show? Yes. Okay, let's see. Uh, this one's a gift from um, my husband, and it's this beautiful. I'm pretty sure it's a quartz, but we actually found this beauty um, at a garage sale, and it's we it was a pretty good save, meaning save, like save from another potential buyer. But I really love this one because it showed up. Let's see, it showed up in a beautiful way, and being able to pay attention to when things show up for you too. So here is the card. So what is the usually I do reading kind of like what is the collective reading, um, what is something that the audience maybe needs to hear at this time in relation to building your business, in relation to making a decision, what's there to look forward to. And right now, at the time of this recording, it's in the end. It's around end of June. I just had a birthday. I am a Cancer sun, and it's been a beautiful summer so far. So, what is the message that you need to hear right now? Even maybe if you hear this at a different time, take what applies, and what is it that what's being pulled. Why are you being pulled to even like hear this? So, beautiful. Um, okay, tell me how to pronounce this. Cuprite, Suprite. But I love the message here already. It's a rite of passage, and I'm gonna do my own intuitive reading from what I get from here. I consider myself an intuitive as well, and I'll also confirm too. I'll read the white book after this, but the intuitive hit that I'm getting is um, it has like a purplish reddish um, hue, and with that, it could be related to roots, and maybe sacral areas, and then even purple. Purple can also be associated with your the higher kind of the higher senses, your intuition, it's really right up here, where you have that connection to kind of like higher knowledge. And here it's saying like a rites of passage, and rites of passage is at least in relation to like business building or transitioning from from a different type of work to a new completely way of working, there is you do go through a rite of passage. When I transitioned from working from someone else to becoming my own, becoming a business owner, there is a rite of passage. Only some are able to, um, you know only a few will go through this rite of passage. People will kind of turn back, but people that meet and come that meet to where this calling is, people that decide to, um, take on the transition, will go through a rite of passage. And that's a decision for your own, that it has to come from an internal drive for you to remember why you're doing this, what your mission is, what your calling is, and it's only you alone that has to determine that, and to make sure that, you have that drive, that anchor um, that keeps you grounded. So, but let's see what the book says. Please correct me if it is it pronounced Cuprite, Cuprite. But I this is my first time hearing of this crystal. I don't know about you. What do you? Has anyone have you heard of it? I'd love to know. I love to know the crystal experts here in group. And it is a deep red. It is base and sacral. Oh, yay! Okay, so, crystal color is deep red. Related chakras are base and sacral. And for crystal medicine, cuprite is the feminine aspect of the crystal hematite, a very sacred stone. It holds the medicine and energy of guiding you through the process of transformation and healing on a very deep level. Transformation and healing go hand in hand, right? And this dynamic crystal invites you to sit with your pain and stop running from your fears. Ooh, this is good. This is good in relation to building and transitioning. It offers a space of deep healing and allows you to find strength and courage to deal with life's challenges as you draw deep wisdom from this process. Okay, so there's a lot here. I'm gonna try and see if I can make this short. So for the crystal meaning, it supports exploring your shadow self. Oh, this is good. Exploring some of the shadow self, some of the limiting beliefs that you have, and having to heal those limiting beliefs. And then it also provides access to sacred ancient knowledge of the feminine. Um, Same with the intuitive access to that ancient knowledge, and it supports and holds you as you enter into the void. Ooh, yes, because when you enter into the void, right, whenever you're going through a passage of something, a transformation, there could be it could be like you may have to fall into a void where you may have to fall before you rise. Okay, that's really key too, when especially if maybe you've been through business building in another aspect. It's going to be very similar, because there's going to be things where you're going to be taken out of your comfort zone, and you're going to be forced to shed those old beliefs and help you create new ones that are better for you and help you become stronger and a better aligned to the person where you want to be, to who you want to be, and supports you to feel like you belong here on earth. Okay, I love that, because you need to be able to ground, to the earth where we all currently are. Um, but I'm going to leave this. If you want maybe the rest of this, I'll read it to you. Just type like I want to read the rest of the message. But I'll go ahead and close for today. I enjoyed spending time with you today. If you're watching this on the replay, type replay, and I would love to see what you thought of today's presentation and training.